Lyric Services, Tricia Warner here, bringing you your Pilates session today. I'm happy we're able to do this remotely. It has been a crazy week. I'm sure you guys have all felt the stress of this situation. I'm hoping to bring you some exercises that will make you feel better. I'm here to help take care of you. I'm sure you guys are taking care of your jobs and your families, and I want you to just take a half an hour to take care of you. And so the exercises we're going to do today are focused more on stretching. In future weeks, I'm going to post YouTube videos once a week. We'll work more on strengthening. I figured at the end of this crazy week, it would probably just be nice for you guys to lay down on a mat and breathe and move a little bit. And then we'll progress from there. So a couple things that I'd like to suggest you have for these sessions. If you can grab some 16-ounce cans that we can use for weights for certain exercises. Today we're going to be using toilet paper rolls. So go ahead and grab 2 rolls of toilet paper. I surround mine because I knew that I would be using them for a while. They're going to kind of replace a yoga block, and they're kind of fun. So we'll be using some rolls of toilet paper today. In future weeks, just so you can start thinking now, if you can get something that simulates a yoga strap. So either a belt to your robe or a longer belt, an old tie, a piece of rope, something that you can use as a strap to put around your foot and work on stretching. Other things might be a paper plate we may use for a couple of exercises. If you have any equipment at home, let me know. If you wanted to do any live sessions, we can set that up. Like I said, I'm here to help you guys, so please let me know what your needs are, and I'm happy to accommodate that. We could set up a private session if that's necessary, or if you have a special request for a week, if you wanted to work on a particular exercise or something. Okay, so let's get started. Tommy's going to help me today, and you can sit here, Tommy. So Tommy is my son, and we're having a lot of family time, so he's going to help me out with this. Actually, I'm going to have you put your head this way. So I'm going to take you through a few exercises. Go ahead and lay down on your back. I miss seeing you guys. I look forward to our session. So I'll kind of name drop a little bit as we go through on what exercises are for each of you. So the first thing that we're going to do is just a long stretch. Just lay down on the mat and feel the weight of gravity kind of lengthen your spine. And then reach your arms up overhead and stretch away from your feet, and stretch your feet away from your arms and your arms away from your feet, and just get a nice lengthening stretch through your whole body. And breathe. Take 2 nice deep breaths in this position. Good, and relax. You can put your arms down by your sides. You're going to bend your knees and come to your feet being flat on the floor. We're going to do some pelvic clocks. I know we sit a lot at our jobs. So we're just going to kind of loosen up the lower back a little bit. So as you exhale, you're going to press your low back into the mat. And then as you inhale, you're going to tip your pelvis forward, creating a space in your low back. So I can put my hand all the way under here now. Exhale, press your spine down into the mat. Inhale, tip your pelvis forward, create that space, and get a nice arch in your back. Go back and forth 10 times, so we'll do a few more here. And like I said, I'm perfectly happy to meet any suggestions, so please leave me a comment or email me, and we will get through this together. And last one. Great, now a little trunk rotation. So Tommy, separate your feet the width of the mat, and I'm gonna have you let your arms are gonna be out at 45 degrees. You're going to let your knees go over to the side until you feel a nice stretch through your side. Do you feel a good stretch with this? Yeah, feels good. Again, letting gravity just kind of take your knees down towards the floor, and then bring your knees back up to the ceiling and go in the other direction.
Should I keep the shoulder blade down?
Yes, great question. Thank you.
Okay.
So that's an excellent point. You want to try to move just from the waist down. So he's going to try to keep his shoulder blades and his arms anchored to the floor so that that rotation comes lower down the spine. Good. Bring your knees back up. Let's go one more time each side. And then bring them back up. And last one this way. And come back to center. You're going to cradle your head in your hands, so go ahead and put your hands behind your head. Elbows are going to be slightly off the floor, so they're going to be kind of in your peripheral vision. You're going to inhale to prepare as you exhale without pulling on your head. You're going to lift your head and shoulders off the mat. Go ahead and exhale, lift your head and shoulders off. Good. Inhale, lower down. So a little less motion. So stop right when you get to the tip of your shoulder blades and then relax back down. That's perfect. Go ahead and exhale. Inhale, exhale, good. Getting a little shake. He already did abs today, he told me, so we'll give him a little break on this one. Good, we're gonna do 10. Gonna get extra abs here. 2 more, Tom. Good, now hold it up, straighten your legs out. Great. You're going to keep your legs straight and just lift your left leg 1 inch off the floor. Yeah, put it back down. You feel that more?
Yeah.
Switch and lift the other leg 1 inch off the floor. Good. Go back and forth and lift and lower and lift and lower. Good correction. He wanted to make sure he kept a little space under his chin. Really good if you want to increase your abdominal strength. I'm going to do a few more here. And last one on the right, and lower all the way down. Good. Bring your right leg up to tabletop, and go ahead and grab your knee with both hands. You're gonna lift your head and shoulders up off the mat, and lift the left leg out to 45 degrees, so a little lower. Lift this leg up to 45 degrees. Great. Now you're gonna switch. Switch legs, switch your hands. Good. Switch and switch. Good. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2 more, 9, and 10. Great job. Lower down. Okay, so for the next one, we're going to grab a can and a roll of toilet paper. So stay down on your back for this one. Holding onto the can with both hands. Good. You're going to bring one leg up to tabletop and then the other leg. Good. It's just a little safer for your back to bring one leg up at a time and not lift them both up at the same time. We want to take care of our backs here. So go ahead and bring the can up to the ceiling. We're going to do a little trunk rotation, which is going to involve the obliques now. So you're going to keep a little squeeze on the roll of toilet paper, which mine is already flattened. Go ahead and rotate that way, arms go away, and then bring it back to the center. And then rotate to the other direction. Good. Bring it back up. We're going to do 5 times each direction. 2. 3. Nate, your shirt's recording. Good. 2 more. 4. I recruited my whole family to help me with this. And 5. Great job. Come all the way down. All right, taking the toilet paper again, grab that other roll there. You're going to come into a bridge. So arms down by your sides. Inhale to prepare. As you exhale, you're going to lift your hips up off the mat. Good. Inhale at the top and exhale, lower back down. And do that again. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, lift the hips up. Really activating the back body here. We're getting our hamstrings, our glutes. You're also lengthening out and exhale as you return. You're also lengthening out the hip flexors, which is excellent. Inhale to prepare, exhale to lift. Good. Inhale at the top, exhale to lower back down. How much time are we at?
9 minutes, 30 seconds.
Perfect. Feel those glutes and hamstrings firing. really a fantastic exercise to reverse the negative side effects of sitting a lot for your work. And last one. Good, hold it there. Now you're gonna slide the toilet paper under your pelvis. And you're gonna rest your pelvis on it. It's kind of comfortable, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's nice, it's soft. All right, we're gonna do femur arcs in this position. So you're gonna go ahead and bring one leg up into tabletop. Good, and then as you lower your heel towards the mat, the hip lengthens, and then you bring it back up. Good, and then you're gonna do 10 times each side. So here's 2. This is gonna activate that hip flexor now and your quadriceps muscle. Starting to feel it?
Yeah.
5.
Or you could put your hand on it too for like extra weight, or was that a different one?
Different one.
Oh.
Usually the weight of the leg is enough for this one.
Yeah.
2 more. And then go ahead and switch to the other leg. 10 times on this side. So you want the motion to be slow and controlled, and you're not letting your foot hit hard. You're slowly lowering it, and he is, and then bringing it all the way back up to tabletop. You want to try to keep 90 degrees, so keep going. 90 degrees at the knee, and then you're lifting the leg to 90 degrees at the hip. And Tommy's doing a great job of keeping that knee in a still 90-degree position. A lot of times we'll get people who cheat by just dropping the knee and coming back up. You really want to keep this fixed the whole time. And do 1 more. Great job. Now put both feet flat on the floor. Stretch your right leg all the way out and just feel a nice stretch through the front of your hip. Do you feel it?
Yeah.
It should after you do this exercise. So you were using this muscle. Now we're just giving it a little bit of a stretch. And 1 more breath in that position. A muscle that gets typically very tight when we're sitting in a hip flexed position. Go ahead and switch your legs, Tom. And feel a stretch there. So hopefully you can find 30 minutes in your day of peace to lay down on either a yoga mat or a towel. A beach towel would work just fine. I'm really good at finding creative solutions, hence the toilet paper rolls. Most people don't have yoga blocks in their house. I do, but I kind of like the softness of this. And then bend your knees. Bring one leg up to tabletop, and again, we do this one at a time. Bring the other leg up into tabletop. Good. Straighten both legs up to the ceiling. Now we're gonna do little scissors. So you're gonna bring one leg up, one leg down. One leg up, one down. It's hard.
I can't go that much further. My hamstrings are tight.
That's okay. Emphasize the down then. Yeah. And then switch. Good. Trying to keep your legs as straight as you can. Amy, this one's for you.
I got dirty feet.
Don't worry. You're a 12-year-old boy. I'm glad you were outside barefoot today. And 1 more. Good. Lower your feet to the ground 1 at a time. Close. 1 at a time. Very good, good, good. Okay, go ahead and lift your hips up. Come up off the toilet paper. It feels good when you come off of it, doesn't it? It's kind of nice on the back. Okay, laying on your right side. Oh, we can use the toilet paper as a pillow too. So lay on your right side and put your head on the pillow. Perfect. All right, and now with the can in your hand, we're gonna come into a little arm arc. 1. Go ahead and put it in the left hand. Great, so your hips are stacked, your waist is narrow. Arm is gonna be straight down by your side.
What about my...
That arm can be wherever it's comfortable, either there or you can bend it up like you're going to sleep.
Okay.
Yeah. Straighten your legs out. Go ahead and straighten them all the way out. Good. Waist is narrow, arm is straight and strong. You're gonna arc your arm up and overhead. Feel a nice stretch through the whole underarm and the lat, and then lower it back down. We're gonna do 5 times. So your core's also working in this position because you're balancing on your side. You need to have these abdominal core muscles to hold you in that position. You're working a little bit, huh?
Yeah.
Good. You feel a nice stretch?
Just go somewhere.
Okay. Tommy, concentrate on the exercises, please. Good, and last one. All the way up and all the way down. Great. And now we're going to come up into a little rotator cuff strengthening exercise. So from here, you're going to lift up and down. And today I chose familiar exercises for the people who have been participating, but I also wanted to kind of start with some of our basic exercises for new people who might be signing on and are new to taking my classes. So hopefully that you'll find the exercises very doable, and then we will progress them as the weeks go on. So this is really good for rotator cuff strength and health. A lot of people get injuries to the rotator cuff, and this is a good way to prevent that. And last one, believe it or not, 1 pound is enough for this muscle. It's a very small muscle, so it doesn't need a lot of weight. Good, you can drop the weight down. And we're gonna come into lateral leg lifts. So for beginners, keep this hand down as a little support. As you keep your hips stacked, you're gonna lift your top leg straight up to the ceiling. Go ahead and lift it up and lower it back down. Good. So go ahead and do 5 here, and then I'm gonna have you do the more advanced version. Trying to keep your hip as still and steady as possible. So Tommy's really working hard to try to get his leg up high, and I would actually coach him to say, don't go quite so high. I'd rather have you keep this hip still. So keep it a little smaller. You're still working that same muscle without compensating the stability. That's much better. Now bring the hand up to your hip and keep going. So now he has to balance on his side. If your bottom hip is a little tender on the mat, put a little bit more cushion underneath you. Just because these exercises are more introductory and a little bit more beginner doesn't mean that they're not working you. He is working here now, big time, and relax. Bend your knees. We're going to come into a book opening stretch. So arms are straight out in front of you. Just move those weights a little bit. This one I feel like has to be done if you do any kind of sitting at work, just to open up the chest and create a little bit more balance in your posture. So you're going to keep your knees together. Arms are going to be stacked out in front of you. Remember book openings? You're going to inhale to prepare. As you exhale, you're going to float the top arm up to the ceiling, opening your chest up to the ceiling, trying to move your shoulder blade down to the mat, not necessarily your arm. You don't want your arm to hang out of the joint. You want to open the whole chest. Inhale in the stretch, exhale to close. So this pillow is actually a little much for Tommy. I think he can just be down on the mat. Or like he just did, he can put his hand up under his head if you want a little support. See what's comfortable for you. No Pilates exercise should be painful at any time. You should be inhale here, exhale to close. If the exercise seems painful or uncomfortable, or you're just not comfortable doing it, skip it. Do something else that feels good for your body, and then rejoin us for the next exercise. Send me a comment, let me know what's going on with your body, and I can actually specialize the workout exercise for you. And that's enough of those. Legs straight out again. We're going to do one more. This is more of a strengthening exercise, right for your waist, your core muscles here. You're going to inhale to prepare. As you exhale, you're going to keep your legs nice and straight and strong, and you're lifting both legs off the mat. Go ahead and lift them up. It's not a big range of motion. Don't expect to see a lot of lift here. 2, but he is working here. 3, 4, 5.
I'm like staggering my feet a bit
6.
so I can move like a little further.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yes. 2 more. Great. Let's have you sit up, bring your head to the other end. We're going to do the same thing on the other side, and you should too. Come all the way down. We're going to start with the arm arcs. So waist is, no, okay. All right, here's the cam. So he's going to come into a nice big arc up and overhead, get a nice stretch. You may need to move away from the wall, and you may need to do that at home. So thanks for demonstrating that, Tom. And then reach up and over. So I tried to pack a lot in a half an hour. I wanted you moving your spine in every direction. I want us activating every major muscle group so that you guys feel good after this. Your body should feel better after this workout. Exercise has been proven to improve mood, help immunity, all good things that we need right now. So if you can schedule the time for yourself to do it, I think you're gonna feel better. All right, last one, or was that 5?
I think that was 5.
Good. All right, rotator cuff. So from here, you're gonna lift your hand up and then lower it down. 2, 3, 5. This is a good pace to work at. Not too fast, not too slow. He's doing really well. This is his throwing arm, so this is a good one for him. And do 2 more, Tom. Great, and let's come into the leg lifts. So you can drop that. Lifting the top leg, this one's for you, Susie, and all my runners, Christina. Go ahead and lift the top leg up to the ceiling and then lower it back down. And lift it back up. Runners tend to get a lot of IT band tightness and weakness sometimes. So this is really good for runners to do on their non-running days. And we'll do about 10 on this side. So you can put your hand on your hip, Tommy, make it more advanced for the last few. It's harder, right?
Yeah.
And last one. Great job. Bend your knees. Bring your right arm out in front. We're going to come into the book opening stretch. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, open your arm up to the ceiling, reaching your shoulder blade to the mat. Good. Inhaling in this position, and then exhaling to close. You'll notice some exercises I cue breath a lot, others I don't. That's because for some exercises it's really important to time the breath with the movement, because breath can either facilitate motion or inhibit motion. So for this one, I find it much more effective to exhale on the opening to decrease the pressure inside your rib cage, and you'll actually get a little bit more range of motion. And then let's do one more here. Good, feels good, right? Good, bring it back up. Excellent, and then both leg lifts. So straighten both legs out, bring your bottom arm under your head, straighten those legs out straight and strong. You can stagger them if that feels better for you. And then as you exhale, you're lifting the legs up. So he's using the breath in this one to recruit abdominal muscles. So inhale to prepare, exhale, blow that air out, increase the inter-abdominal pressure, which recruits more muscles that you need to lift your legs off the mat. How many is that?
3
3?
or 4. I don't know, how many are we doing?
So we're gonna do 10 of these, and so if you're doing them slightly ahead of us or behind us, then just stop after 10. Make sure you're lifting that thigh off too, not just below. That's it. Good. Now you feel it more in here, right?
Yeah. 8.
2 more. Good. Roll right over onto your stomach. We're going to come into single leg stretch. Propped up on your elbows. You're going to bend this knee up. Good. 2 times. So you're going to bend it up and bend it up again. And then you're going to lift the whole leg off the mat. Good. And then come back down. And lift. 1, 2, and lift and lower. So Tommy, I'm actually going to have you walk your elbows out. And you may need to at home as well. I want your lowest rib on the mat. So we're arching more from the upper back, not so much pinching in the lower back. So this looks better to me. Go ahead and bend this leg up 2 times. 1, 2, and then lift the whole leg up and down. Good. Other leg. 1, 2, and lift and lower. This is the 3rd time through. We'll do 5. Good, keep going. So a good one to isolate the hamstring and the glute again. Also getting some hip extension. It's a nice stretch for really, I find, fascinating muscle in the body called the psoas. It's a really good stretch for that muscle as well. And last one on the right. Good. Now you're going to come up onto all 4s like a baby crawls. And this one's kind of like Sphinx. So actually you're going to come down back onto your elbows for a minute. Great. So this is a triceps press. It's designed to isolate the back of the upper arm. So the further he puts his weight onto his arms, the harder the exercise is. If you're new to this exercise or don't feel like you need to work your triceps that hard, actually come back even more, Tommy. More. Move your arms. Yeah. Keep your knees where they are.
Oh.
Yeah. Keep your walk your knees up even a little bit more. And so that's the easier position. So start here and then we can walk it out. Go ahead and lift the elbows up and then lower them back down. Good. So we're getting some weight bearing in this position as well, which is great for our bone density. But triceps is a muscle that doesn't tend to get a lot of activity throughout the day, like our biceps does. We tend to use our biceps a lot throughout the day. Triceps not as much. We don't do as much pressing away like that. So this is a good one to create a muscle balance in the shoulder and the upper arm to avoid injury, really.
Yeah, of course.
And to have your arms look great in sleeveless shirts. Now go ahead and walk it out further. So lean onto it more.
Wait,
yeah, that way.
Oh,
Good.
so you don't move your hands at all, it's just leaning.
Right, just lean your body weight. So then go ahead and lean forward a little more. And now go ahead and come up onto the hands. Yeah, now it's getting harder, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So do 2 more here. Now here's that stretch I promised you. Keep your hands there. Bring your hips all the way back to your feet. You're going to come all the way into child's pose. Let your head relax. Let your arms stretch out. Breathe. If you need to, separate your feet so you can even get your hips further down to the floor and just feel a nice opening and lengthening through the spine in this position. 1 more breath in that position. Great, and then come up to high kneeling. So you're going to face the camera. You didn't know the workout before we started, so come up into a high kneeling position. So come up off your feet. Great. You're going to bring your hands behind your head and keeping the weight even on your knees. You're going to exhale as you rotate to the right and then pulse 2 times. 1, 2. And now you're going to rotate to the left and pulse 1, 2. Rotate to the right. So we're doing a lot of rotation today. So I'm trying to help facilitate his hips staying towards the camera here in one direction, and all the motion is coming above it. Good. Feel a nice stretch with this?
Yeah.
Good. Do 1 more each side. Great. Now bring your right arm up overhead. And you're going to come into a little side bend. So you're going to keep the weight on your knees even as you reach up and over to one side.
With this.
No, I want you to let it go a little bit. Good, and then come back up. Feel a nice stretch down this side, and then come to the other side. Good, and then come back up. We'll do that again. So this is a lateral side bend, another motion that the fabulous spine moves into. Last one going that way. Very good. So now you're going to stand up. Are we going to be in the shot? Holding onto the cans. We're going to come into a row. I'm going to actually have you turn this way so that you can keep a flat back and show the camera how nice and flat your back is. So if you need to, if you have tight hamstrings, I'm not gonna say who, bend your knees a little bit. So go ahead and hinge forward and get a nice flat back. This is hard for people, so bend your knees if you need to, Tommy. Yeah, that's better. Hands are going down towards the floor. We're coming into a row, so go ahead and row the hands, the elbows back, and then bring them in. Good, just like that. So a nice broad base of support, nice flat back. Abs are engaged because they have to be. And now he's working his pulling muscles, his scapular muscles that support his posture. How many is that?
4, 5.
Okay, 5 more.
I think 5.
6, 7. Do you feel a little work?
Yep.
So just by changing your orientation to gravity, by putting him in this position, 1 pound is actually enough for a relatively big muscle group. All right, and then the next one, you're gonna be hinged forward again. It's a common cue. He's doing a great job with it, so I haven't needed to cue him. A lot of people tend to come into a rounded back, and a good cue is stick your tailbone out or stick your rear end out and get a nice flat back. So if you feel like you're rounded in this position, stick your tailbone out, lift your tailbone up, get a nice flat back. Let's come into one more in this position. So go ahead and hinge forward, nice flat back, arms down towards the floor. You're gonna lift them out to a T. Good, and then lower it down, perfect. We'll do 10 in this position. How we doing on time?
31.
Oh, okay, we're wrapping up. I know you guys have a lot of work to do, but I also wanna make sure I hit everything. So, actually there's only one more exercise left, perfect.
1 more?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Good. All right, and now we're gonna finish with the roll down. So standing at the foot of the mat over here, facing this way, standing up nice and tall as if a wall is behind you. You're gonna start with your head, inhale nice and deeply. As you exhale, you're gonna nod your head, roll down 1 vertebrae at a time, all the way down. Bend your knees when you get as far as you can so that your hands can touch the floor. Now you're gonna walk your hands out to a plank. Good, keep your knees up, keep your knees up, that's it. So this is the plank position. If you feel good there and you feel like you're challenged there, go ahead and pause, take a breath, and then walk it back up. We're gonna try to walk it back up, keeping your hips up, yeah. Try to keep your knees as straight as possible. You will need to bend them. And then inhale here, exhale, roll all the way up. Good, 1 more variation with a couple of push-ups. For those of you who want a little bit more of a challenge, inhale to prepare, exhale, roll down 1 vertebrae at a time. Bend your knees when you need to, as much as you need to. Walk it out again, these exercises should feel good. So before we go into the push-ups, Tommy, show them a modified push-up. So you can put your knees down, and then go ahead and keep your back nice and flat. Go ahead and give me 2 push-ups in the modified position. Good, and now go ahead and show me a full push-up position. Great. So this is a very advanced exercise. Most people can't do a really good stable push-up. So I would suggest starting with the modified if you decide to progress from the plank. That's enough, Tom, great. Walk it back up. So hopefully by the end of this workout, you're feeling a little balanced, a little relieved. So facing the camera, let's just take a nice deep breath in, arc your arms up. Exhale, float them all the way down. Do that 2 more times. Inhale, fill your lungs with the nice air. Exhale. And last one. Be well, everyone, at Lyric Services. I look forward to seeing you again, and I will be posting next Wednesday again, and Amy will forward you the link. So take care. Bye-bye.